All right. Hi, everyone. My name's Whitney, and I'm here with the University of Career Center. I'm here to investigate how seniors can transition a little bit easier and to investigate some of the career opportunities. Today, we're here with Justin Henderson from Enterprise, and without any further ado, let's get to know Justin a little bit better. Hi.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So could you tell us a little bit about your position and industry at Enterprise?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Justin Henderson. I'm the Group Talent Acquisition Manager for Enterprise for Oregon and Southwest Washington. Our industry is really customer service and sales. We obviously are in the rental car industry, but we're under Enterprise Holdings, which is Enterprise Rent a Car, National Rent a Car, Alamo Rent a Car, and a few other business lines. And so what our industry is all about is to try to be the global transportation solution in various ways. We have truck rental, we have car share, we have car sales. So I am kind of the point of contact for acquisition for all of those different business lines. And I'm looking forward to talking to you guys further about it.
Awesome. So was Enterprise somewhere that you had in mind, or how did your career path lead you there?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I am actually from North Carolina. So I've actually only been out here for about 3.5, 4 months since January, basically. So I guess almost 5 months now. So I started with Enterprise almost 10 years ago, June 2010. So I was actually an exercise sports science major from the University of North Carolina. My first couple of years out of college, I went back to my old high school and I coached and I taught. Long story short, really was looking for something different. And so I kind of stumbled upon Enterprise. My father rents cars all the time for business, and he had heard about our management trainee program. I was obviously looking for a career change and kind of did some research and saw that it was something that I thought I would, be good at. And so I kind of leapt into it. But I didn't know that this is what I was going to do out of college, but I definitely stumbled upon it. And it's been great so far, almost 10 years in, and hopefully 10 to 20 more years.
Wonderful. So I understand that maybe it wasn't your educational path that led you
Mhm.
there, but what kind of transferable skills or things are you, as Enterprise looking for when they come in when they're recruiting?
Yeah. So our mission statement is take care of our customers and our employees, and growth and profits will follow, right? And so, long story short, we're in the people business, and so we're looking for people who have communication skills. We have a diverse clientele, we have a diverse workforce. So we want people that are able to kind of build connection and build rapport quickly with customers. So that we're able to provide an excellent service and they continue to come back. So communication is huge. I think one of the biggest things that is necessary with us is competitiveness. So we are in a competitive industry. It's a customer service business, but it's also a sales business and it's a performance-based business. And so I was a former student athlete, so I'm super competitive. So the ability to compete and the understanding that you're going to get promoted based off of your performance is something that's necessary. Long story short, I kind of call it the 5 C's, which is communication, competitiveness, confidence, and then character and commitment. And so, we need people that have resilience. We need people that have flexibility, and really people that are able to deal with people, able to motivate people, able to influence people, and then able to lead people.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of things that students can accumulate while they're in college, but may not be aware of it. Uh,
Absolutely, definitely.
so how does your management training program kind of help students prepare for those traits?
Yeah. So I tell people it's the best MBA program you could ever have. And the reason why I say that is because we're going to teach you every aspect of how to run a business. So again, my story, being an exercise and sports science major, I didn't really have any business acumen whatsoever going into Enterprise. And I started as a management trainee, got promoted to assistant manager, then branch manager. Then I was promoted to area manager where I oversaw 6 stores. So I did that for 2.5 years before I got promoted into talent acquisition within North Carolina and then obviously here. And so, I was taught how to run a business. I was taught finance and marketing and obviously customer service and sales and logistics and everything it takes to run a business. And then I was given that opportunity based on my performance. So obviously I was running, several businesses. And this was only within 5 years within the company that I got to that.
Wow.
And it was based on what they taught me. And then they gave me the platform to be able to utilize and showcase some skills.
It almost sounds like they're almost like a springboard for, kind of going past that entry level of really get the
Yeah.
meat of.
Absolutely. Yeah, we promote 100% from within. So everybody that starts at that management trainee position has the opportunity to grow into various different business lines. And so the CEO of our company started as a management trainee. So you literally have that opportunity to start at the bottom, so to speak, and work your way up to the top. That's my goal. Obviously, I've been promoted several times, but I want to continue to get promoted higher into talent acquisition because we do have those opportunities. opportunities to get to the top of the organization at whatever department you desire.
Great. Wow. So with all the entry level opportunity, there seems like there's a lot of change and transitions. Um, it sounds like the culture has to be a real grounding source. Could you tell us a little bit more about your daily activities and how your culture kind of, your work culture cultivates your success?
Yeah, so it's all about teamwork, right? And so, within a local enterprise rental branch, there's, multiple people, multiple management trainees, and then you have an assistant manager and branch manager and other branch personnel. So it's really imperative that everybody works on the same team to deliver great customer service. So we kind of say timeliness, cleanliness, friendliness, right? So being as quick as possible with the interactions, making sure our cars are 100% clean. And then obviously our personnel being able to be friendly and develop relationships with customers, right? And so for those three points to be executed on every interaction, everybody has to be on the same page. So it's very collaborative, it's very team oriented. When I say it's competitive, like it's not like cutthroat sales, right? That's not what it's about. It's about everybody competing with each other to push each other to be better. But at the end of the day, the number one thing is to make sure that the customers are taken care of and that we're working on the same page to elevate each other. So it's very collaborative, very teamwork oriented, obviously customer service driven. And that culture is like it expands outside of just the normal rental branches, right? I talked about those other business lines that we have. Because everybody comes through the management trainee program, we all came from the same culture, so we all understand it. So whether you go into car sales or truck rental or talent acquisition or whatever it might be, we all started at the same position, so we understand each other and we keep that culture ingrained as we grow within the company.
There's something like kind of strangely comforting about that, kind of knowing everyone's on the same page and um,
Absolutely.
all went through the ringer, so.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, you always know that your manager went through whatever it is they're asking you to do. So it's very, to your point, comforting to know that my manager's been through what I'm going through now. And then obviously, as I got into management, I had that built-in respect because they all know that I've been through it before.
Interesting. Kind of makes me think of kind of maybe some mentoring opportunities that might happen within the organization since you guys are all groomed in that regard.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I've only been out here for a few months, but I've already built some mentor relationships with some of our current employees out here, and then all of the relationships I had back in North Carolina, I still talk to all of my former employees, to help them through whatever it is they're going through, because those mentor relationships don't end because I moved. It's funny, even though we're an international organization, the company gets very small, especially the further you go up, because you build so many relationships with people. We have contacts all over the country, all over the world, really, that I've worked with personally that we maintain relationships with. So not only am I able to mentor people, but there's people that have been in the company longer than I was, that were in management positions when I started that are still mentors of mine currently.
Wonderful. Um, wow, that's just like a lot of information. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna try to figure out my next question here.
Yeah, no worries.
What are the top three things that students can be doing right now to be considered for a position at Enterprise?
So the first thing is networking. Obviously, I'm the point of contact for Oregon and Southwest Washington. But again, when I talk about us being an international company, even though you may have students that may be going back to California or whatever it might be, even if I'm not the person that is the main point of contact for whatever area, I can point them in the right direction, right? So networking with myself, and then obviously through that network, building a larger network to wherever they're going to be upon graduation, right? And so you can easily search me on LinkedIn, just search Justin Henderson, and it'll pull within the first few profiles. It'll be super easy to see. But outside of that, I think one of the biggest pieces, we're, very, very important about customer service, obviously, right? And so a lot of work that I think some students may take for granted is something that we think is very important. And what I'm talking about is like service industry work, right? So let's say for whatever reason, obviously we're dealing with some tough times. And so, some people may not be able to get to their dream career right out of college, right? So don't minimize either the service industry work that you've already had or going into the service industry, because you're going to build so many of those skills that I talked about that are necessary. So I think, being able to either highlight already your service industry work or potentially further that is something that we look for, because it shows your ability to communicate and your flexibility and your resilience and your ability to navigate difficult situations. I mean, and the other thing is volunteering. Obviously,
Right.
social distancing pieces, it's hard to volunteer in person right now, but there are options out there for people. So, if you can network, if you can really show your service industry experience or build on that, and then, take advantage of some volunteering opportunities, I think those are things that, especially translating into an interview, are really going to be able to showcase your skills and set you apart from other people.
Great. So do you have any advice for graduating seniors?
I think the biggest thing is to broaden your horizons. 50% of people do something different than what their major was, right? Obviously, I'm in a completely different industry than what my major was. So, everybody has, their major and their dreams and their goals that they probably had as kids, right? And a lot of people do get to those and realize that that's exactly what they wanted to do. But a ton of people, as many people, get to the point where they realize that, whatever their major was or whatever their dreams and goals were as a kid, didn't end up being really what they wanted to do long term. But I think sometimes we're stubborn because we wanted to do this all our life, and it's hard for us to kind of switch gears, right? And so I think the biggest piece is to broaden your search, just in general, but obviously during these times, because the industry that you want to be in may not be hiring, right? So do whatever you can to kind of look at, okay, what do I really want to do? What type of environment do I want to be in? And then at that point, you look at different industries and open it up to whatever might be working for you, right? And even if it's not intended to be a long-term career, it potentially could turn into one if you're open to it. So that's how I got to enterprise. I didn't know that I wanted to rent cars, right? But obviously I was able to learn that this is really what I love based on me being open to taking that opportunity.
Hmm. It's more about like the work that you're doing and applying your strengths. And I think,
Absolutely.
I think that's really sound advice, especially right now, because we all have to make some sort of concessions, whether it's doing virtual interviews or, figuring out that maybe your industry isn't completely available right now. So,
Absolutely. Flexibility is huge, definitely.
and that's definitely a transferable skill, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Flexibility is huge, especially in our industry. There's so much ever changing within, customer service, within the transportation industry and business in general. So when you're dealing with people, you got to be flexible.
Hmm. Great. Um, wow, that was a lot of information. And I know I have more questions about how, those transferable skills I can apply in my real life. Like I'm thinking about how do we learn about business finances? And I imagine running your own section of the business is, that's really it's a lot of work. So
Definitely, definitely. But I tell people, enterprise, whenever anybody asks me like, why am I here and why am I still here and what have I learned? Obviously, enterprise has grown me professionally. That goes without being said. But from a personal perspective, I've been able to transfer those skills to my personal life. So controlling my own finances, and, being able to develop relationships outside of work, and make people feel good about themselves. Like so many things that I didn't know were important in a personal sense, I learned through my professional development within enterprise. And so, yeah, it's definitely a company that's going to give you skills that are going to be transferable to your entirety of your life.
wonderful. Well, thank you. I appreciate you taking this time. Um,
Absolutely.
is if you're open to it, is there a way that you said that students could reach out to you if they wanted to?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I was going to say LinkedIn. If you just search Justin Henderson, it'll be one of the first profiles to pull up. It's technically Justin Henderson ERAC. So if you put Justin Henderson ERAC, it'll pull right up. Enterprise Rent a Car. That's what it stands for, obviously. And then my email is my first name dot my middle initial, which is F dot Henderson. So Justin dot F dot Henderson at EHI Enterprise Holdings Incorporated.com. So either one of those will work perfectly for me. But I'm encouraged to talk to students. We're in a position very soon where we're going to be needing a lot of new talent, and so I highly encourage anybody to connect with me because I'm looking forward to hiring some U of O management trainees.
Great. Thank you. We appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely, thank you.